Hello everyone, welcome to Roma Theory. It's podcast number 3. We are here with Flavio
Hello, hello. What's up? What's up,
from
everyone?
where are you from, mate?
Coming straight from Canada. Yeah,
Nice, nice.
yeah. I used to live in Rome. I lived there for 2.5 years, but I was younger. I was in middle school, so around from like 12 to 14 years old. But yeah, now I'm here, so yeah, it is what it is.
Exciting. And today we'll be
Yeah.
discussing, our debate today will be which out of the Serie teams will go furthest in the Champions League. Before we start, do you want to I don't know, just say how you became a Roma fan, introduce yourself for like 1 minute, your
Yeah,
passion
sure
for the
thing.
club.
Yeah, of course. So, I mean, pretty, I guess, traditional standard way of becoming a Roma fan. I was born into it. Like my dad is a huge Roma fan. My mom, of course, not a huge football fan in general, but
Yeah.
yeah. So I think my most early memory. So I'm currently 23 years old. So my most early memory of a game was, I think, Roma Bari, like back in like 2007, something like that.
Wow.
So yeah, maybe when I was 7 years old. So yeah, I mean, just from the get-go, I started watching football. I was playing it as a kid too. So like right away, I fell in love with the club, the players, like obviously Totti, De Rossi, Pizarro, all these. Like, wow, I mean, how many players? Yeah, like so many. I don't know. Anyway, it's just for me, it's everything, right? It's like
Yeah,
Roma's
we're
just
very
a passion
similar
that.
in this, I think.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think,
yeah. Roma's just a
yeah.
passion that like once you like are so involved and infatuated with the club, it just never goes away, I think, for life. Yeah,
Yeah.
so yeah. Despite living abroad now and not in Europe anymore, I still like I follow as much as I can every single game. Follow news, follow YouTubers like you, people that talk about it. So what can I
Yeah,
say? It's just the best passion I've ever had my whole life. So yeah.
definitely. Right, let's start with this. How do you want to start? Do you want to kick off and say who you think is gonna reach the furthest levels of this Champions League out of Lazio, Napoli, Inter, and Milan?
Well, you know what? Like, I had a club in mind, and then I watched yesterday's game against Inter. But obviously, I don't want to. I don't want one game like swayed my opinion of who I think. Um, I think we're gonna see a little surprise. I think Napoli is gonna get the furthest. I'll say that right
Right, you
away.
say Napoli, which is
Yeah, yeah. Say
interesting.
Napoli. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I say Milan.
Oh yeah.
I say Milan.
See,
We'll
no, I
get
don't
into
get it. I
this
don't get it. I
now.
don't see it. I don't
I
see it.
don't. I
But
mean,
yeah, we'll get
Napoli.
into it. We'll get into it. We'll get
Yeah.
into it.
My first question to you, linking to this Napoli thing, is will Garcia end the season?
Yes, come on. They're not gonna sack him mid-season. That's just not something Italian clubs do. I mean, some do, but it seems very harsh if he gets sacked, mid-season. Even
Yeah,
yesterday
no.
he drew Milan. That's still a decent result, but I think he will make it to the end of the season, and they will turn something around. Just when I
You
watch
think
them, man,
so?
like they have like that kind of chemistry that you see in clubs that have players that have played together for 4 or 5 years. So that's what I think, at least.
Yeah, no, that's very interesting because I actually don't think Garcia will end the season, and I don't think
Oh,
Napoli is going to be the furthest. Just because I think if they sack him, I don't think they're gonna. If they sack him, they're gonna sack him now. They're not gonna sack him now, but I think around March, February, I think he's not gonna end the season, and therefore the entire change of manager is going to create such an unstable environment where, and it's actually, in my opinion, it's also going to split the fans because the majority are obviously going to be Garcia out, but the majority of Napoli fans are also going to say, well, we didn't give him time. So I just feel like him not ending the season could create a massive split, and yeah, I don't think Napoli is gonna reach the furthest. I've gone with Milan because I just feel like in the league, they're not going to win it. I just don't
no,
think they're going to
no,
win it. Inter
no.
are better, and they know this. Pioli, after he won that league title 2 years ago, has not been the same. I think this season they're going to treat this Champions League as Pioli's ultimatum. If he wants to stay, he has to go well.
Mm.
And this is exactly why I think Milan is going to produce an incredible group stage comeback and qualify for the next round. Because again,
Okay, I'll say
yeah,
this. I will like I won't discredit you on the group stage aspect. I do think they can make it through. They're at 2 points, and the first team there is at six, and then there's what I can't remember off the top of my head, but there's those two teams in the middle that have
yeah.
4 points each. So it's doable, right? There's 3 games left. They can do it if they really focus on that. But I really don't see them going much further than that. I saw a bit of the game against PSG. Like you can't get battered 3-0. I get it. Like it's a difficult stadium to play at, but I don't know, man. They don't convince me. I see them kind of having the same thing they had last year, where when they went on that downhill streak, they were losing games.
Yeah.
But yeah, I see that coming right now with Milan. Like I feel it in the next few games, they're gonna drop off a little bit. I think.
And my question to you is, because obviously you look at that Milan group stage and it's definitely the group of death. Who do you think is going to drop down to Europa League in that group stage? Is it Milan, PSG,
Dortmund.
Dortmund? You think Dortmund?
Yeah. Yeah.
So who do
No,
you
I think
think's going
Dortmund's
to go
gonna finish
through?
last. I think Dortmund's gonna finish last in that group.
So you say Dortmund fourth. Who gets third and
Yeah,
drops
yeah.
down?
Uh, oh, that's so difficult actually. Um, uh, I think I'll say PSG Milan, Newcastle Dortmund. Let's put it like that.
I have to agree. But I think
Yeah,
the fight is gonna be between Newcastle and Milan, and this is where I think
yeah,
Milan's gonna
it's true.
group. The quality's gonna be seen. The experience will be heard and felt. They're gonna qualify for the next round, and yeah. What are your thoughts on Lau? Do you like him?
Oh man, I mean, Lau was an exceptional player. If he was at Roma, fucking hell, like how he would do it, it'd just be unreal. But yeah, I mean, I saw that I think he had a bit of a little argument with Pioli because he got subbed off. But
Yeah,
he can't be playing, at that level every single game. I think he's still young. He does have room to grow. I think he will stay at Milan though at least 2, 3 more seasons. Like I think he loves the environment, and Pioli, they have a special relationship with him. So I don't see him going anywhere. But yeah, he's a top talent. He's like a top 5 player in Serie, I would say as well.
yeah, no,
So
definitely.
what
I
else can I
think
say? I mean, he's just so good, so smooth, so quick on the ball. Like you don't know as a defender, you don't know what he's gonna do next. It's just like his body feints are there, and uh, I would
he's just
never want to
very
defend.
unpredictable. I mean, looking back to my statement of Milan being the Italian team who qualifies, I mean, who gets furthest in the Champions League, I think a lot of this statement depends on Leao's performances. If Leao's top
Okay.
form and if he's decisive in these games, Leao can be a carrier to this team. My only worry is, you look at Leao, he's extremely inconsistent. And another reason why, for example, I prefer Kvaratskhelia over Leao, and the way I think this is because I look at some games Leao plays, and he gives me the feeling he does not care at all.
Yeah,
And
that's
if
true.
that is the Leao, then Milan won't be the team who gets furthest in the Champions League. But I think they're gonna evolve from this tough moment. Leao's gonna regroup. Leao's gonna start being decisive, and it's gonna get uphill from
You know
Milan
what?
here.
To build on your point, I think this is the difference between a player like Kvara and Leao. If you look at Kvara, when he had earlier this season kind of his down, bit of a shaky kind of form, I think that was more so for like personal reasons. He's getting married, some things in his own life,
Yeah,
but it doesn't seem like a lack of motivation. When you look at Leao and when he has these very inconsistent games, to your point, he kind of just looks like he doesn't want to be there. He's just annoyed
I
about
fully
how the
agree.
game's going, not getting the passes he wants. So he's just like, oh, what, honestly, screw. Let me just like walk around a bit more. But Cavada, I think he had like obviously when he's on his game, which is now he's back at his top level. Obviously he's amazing. But even when he had his kind of shaky period, it doesn't seem like it's from a lack of motivation. It's probably just
Yeah, I
physical
agree.
fitness or
I bet.
personal issues, right? So that's the difference in mentality between those two players, I would say. Easy.
So we've obviously
Yeah.
both here, which I was not expecting. We've both left Inter out.
Yeah, yeah.
What do you have to say about that?
Like what I have to say is, if I'm wrong, it's because Inter will be the team that gets the furthest in Champions League for sure. I mean,
Yeah, I agree.
Milan is third. Lazio, let's not talk about Lazio. Whatever, right? That doesn't. They're not really. They're not even in that Champions League. They don't know what they're doing. So, yeah, but like if you can't beat Feyenoord, it's not for everyone, right? So, yeah. I mean, Inter looks so. I don't know, man. I'll be really honest with you. I didn't follow them too much. I wasn't able to see too many of their games leading up to like yesterday's game. But like I saw their highlights here and there. I'm like, okay, they're good, but man, I mean, they play so well. They play so well. Like very fluid game, so quick on the counter as well. But I just don't think like defensively. I don't know. Defensively, they're okay, right? They're not really. Like I think the difference between them and a club like Napoli is Napoli will just score that many more goals to get them further in a game, and to like win let's say a knockout than Inter will. Inter look more like a team that I don't know. Like if let's say if they're 1-0 down, they would really struggle compared to Napoli, which would like pick up the pace, and Kvara and Osimhen and like the whole team, Raspadori, everyone like
Good point.
contributing. I just see them as a more, I don't know, like they have more legs in them too. They can just run more in a game. I don't know. Yeah.
I think the
Milan, though,
reason.
I really don't understand. Milan, I really don't see them. Like they're already a shaky in the group stage. I am agreeing with you that they will get through, but it's still like, kind of 50-50. But even if they do get through, they're going to eventually face someone that will like, at least Drairano, I think. I don't know.
I just
That's
feel like Milan's gonna have an incredible uprise from here. The reason I've put Inter out is because I think quality wise, they're clearly the best, and quality wise, they're one of the best in Europe, in my opinion. So if you look at the quality, Inter definitely gets it. But I think Inter's biggest priority this season is league, winning that league. Last season
Oh,
they could have
right.
won it easily and they've bottled it. 2 years ago, their biggest rivals, one of their biggest rivals, Milan, won it. They want to get back in that national business. They will leave the Champions League aside a bit. Even though Inter have two teams, the amount of squad depth Inter
Yeah.
have, they could really be playing well on two different fronts. But yeah, I just feel like their biggest priority this season is the league, and they will kind of maybe play with less attention in the Champions League. And then obviously we have Lazio. I mean, as you said, let's.
Yeah, I mean, Lazio, come on. Like, I mean, they might come down, maybe. They might finish third, come down to Europa League, but I don't even know. I mean, with them, they're so shaky, they could just honestly get eliminated
Yeah.
from Europe in general.
Do you
I don't
think
want
they?
to, like, let's not be that, but I don't know. It's Lazio. Like,
So who do you think is
come on.
gonna go through in Lazio's group stage
Feyenoord,
and
and
Atletico?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Lazio
Probably
in
Feyenoord
Europa
first,
League would be
Atletico.
bad.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
mean,
not
Lazio in
bad,
Europa
but
League wouldn't concern me, to be honest.
it wouldn't. Wow. I just
No,
hate.
no, no.
I would really
I would
not
just wouldn't want
like.
to face them, to be
I
honest,
agree.
because of the pressure, not because of, um, performance speaking, more so pressure reasons. But yeah, I mean, it would be bad for that reason, actually. Yeah, if they were to come down, I'd be like, oh, I don't want to face these guys.
The good thing
Yeah,
about Lazio dropping down, in my opinion, is when they're in the Champions League and then they drop down to Europa League and then they get relegated in this sense. I think they start snubbing their European positions. They did it last year. They were in the
yeah, they
Europa
did.
League. They got relegated in the Conference League. Who gives a crap? Now that they're in the Champions League, if they get relegated to the Europa League, I think their biggest priority will be getting top four
Getting
again.
top four. Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's this ultimate cycle with Lazio that they will never get out of.
I mean, that definitely there's a mentality, like there's a different perception of Europe between Mourinho and Sarri. Like Mourinho
Yeah.
probably realistically knows that with this Roma side, with the players we have and the Raw side we have, and the lack of depth, I would say, that's our best chance again this year. I think again this year it's our best chance, especially if we finish first in that group stage, that we skip the what was it, round of 32. So he knows that. But Sarri, like I don't think he cares. He just doesn't care, and he'd rather honestly just complain to the media that he doesn't have the players and that they have too many games, rather than own up to the fact that, you know, and maybe if they were to try really hard, they could also get far in Europa League, right? Or Champions
Yeah.
League. Well, not Champions League, but Europa League,
Yeah.
right? So, yeah,
Right, I
but-
mean, that's it. So you say
Yeah.
Napoli, I say Milan. We'll see who gets it right, if anyone
Yeah,
gets
yeah.
it right.
Yeah, I'll shoot you a message if I'm right, huh?
Yeah, I'll definitely,
yeah.
I'll definitely get you back here if you're right, so we
Right,
can
yeah.
discuss about it. But yeah, it's been a pleasure, mate. We'll see how it goes.
Thank you. I appreciate
And yeah, Forza Roma sempre.
it. Forza Roma, Forza Magica.
And
Ci sentiamo.
yeah, talk to
Yeah,
you soon.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks for
Bye,
getting
bro.
me on. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye.